All variables in Python are typed, and I don't just mean on your keyboard. The type of a Python variable defines its properties and how it can be used. There are 4 data types in Python. Strings are text enclosed in quotes. Integers are whole numbers without decimal points, like the number 40. Floats are real numbers with a decimal point. Finally, Booleans in Python are logical values, either true or false. Note that unlike other programming languages, such as C or C++, Python sets the data type of the variable based on the value that is assigned to it. The abbreviations for the data types we discussed are shown here. It is often important to know the data type of the variable you're dealing with. To do this, you can use the function type, followed by the variable inside parentheses. We will learn more about functions in a later chapter. For now, think of functions as commands that you can use to obtain specific results. In this case, we used the type function to determine the data type of a variable, and the print function to print the result. As you can see here, the data type of PE_ratio is integer. Let's take a closer look at the Boolean data type. The Boolean data type is often the result of a conditional test involving comparison or logical operators. In this example, a double equal sign tests whether 2 values are equal, and since they are equal, the result is true. If you check the type of the result, you will see that it is a bool, short for Boolean. As mentioned earlier, it is important to understand the data types of variables, because depending on the data type of variables, you can manipulate them differently. Let's take a look at how strings and integers behave with the multiplication operator. Here, we assign an integer 5 to the variable x, and multiply this variable by 3. The solution is 15, an integer. Now, let's assign the string stock to the variable y and multiply it by 3. What happened? The string stock is repeated 3 times. What happens when you try to use the addition operator? As expected, when you add 3 to the integer, you can get a valid result, 8. However, when you try to add an integer 3 to the string, you get an error. You cannot combine an integer with a string directly. If you wish to print combinations of strings and integers or floats, you first need to convert the integer or float to a string. You can do this using the string function. As you can see here, the type of pi is float. But after passing pi to the string function, the type of the new variable pi_string is string. You can now combine pi_string with any string using the addition operator, as we do here. Now that you've been introduced to variables, let's put this into practice.